All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Tuesday morning meditation and spiritual practice session. Um, and what I want us to consider this morning is that and some of you have heard me say this, that we become what we practice. We become what we practice. That meditation from a Jewish perspective is not about having a certain kind of experience. It's not about some outer body kind of experience. It's not about trying to have some kind of what we might label as a spiritual experience, but it's about practicing who we want to become. And lots of experiences can happen when we pay attention more closely to the present moment. But really what we're doing is we're practicing how we want to relate to the world. So in the same way that when we go to a gym and we start working out, that is a slow process of building muscle and having more of the strength in our bodies that we want to have. It's the same thing of that the qualities that we're wanting to embody more in our lives don't just happen instantly, but they come with practice. And there's going to be really four qualities. We're going to come back to a meditation that we do more deeply on our yearly meditation retreat called the Four Worlds meditation. And really there's four qualities that we're going to be looking at incorporating into our time together. One is the quality of trust. And in this case, when we're talking about trust, we're really speaking about the ability um, to inhabit and embody the moment and trust that we are exactly where we need to be right now. So much of the time, a certain kind of restlessness can be a part of our lives, or a sense of being distracted in our day, because in some ways there's, on a fundamental level, we don't necessarily trust that we're exactly where we need to be. We think maybe we have to be somewhere else. And I'm not just talking physically, but even in our minds or what we're experiencing. So one is kind of really taking our seat and trusting that we are where we need to be. The second quality that we're going to be practicing is one of open-heartedness or embrace. How do we come to our lives and moment with a sense of being open to experiences, to life, to being able to learn from everything? The Mishnah says, who is wise? One who learns from every person. And obviously the ability to learn from every person and everything has a certain amount of openness that we have to come to each moment with, not having necessarily preconceived notions about what we're about to experience, but a curiosity and a willingness and openness also for relationship. That when it comes to other people, this kind of openness or attitude of embrace is being open to whatever connections might be able to be present. And when it comes to our meditation, there's really an openness to this moment, to every aspect of this moment, a way of embracing to say, there's depth in this moment. I have things to learn from this moment, even though at the surface of things, it might not seem or feel that way. The third quality is focus, clarity, being able to bring our attention to what's in front of us and be present with it. And this, we know, is something we would love to be able to do in so many parts of our lives, whether we're working on a project, whether we're with a person, whatever it is, we want to be able to give our full attention. And so the giving of our full attention to something starts with a choice. It starts with a decision that this is where I want to be. And then there is the constant recommitment to that decision in being here now. So that kind of focus, that mind piece, is the third quality. And then the fourth and the last one, and you don't have to remember all of these things, we're going to experience it in the meditation. I'm just giving a little bit of the intellectual outline of what we're doing. The fourth one is is presence, is presence. And that's something that once we've laid that foundation of trust, being able to take the one seat and trust that this is where I need to be and ground ourselves here. Once I add that extra quality of openness and embrace of the moment of being here, once I then bring my focus and attention and decision to what's here at the same time that I'm open and I'm trusting, then there's the ability to feel or intuit or be with a quality of presence that is here. And that presence is not something, is something that is, you know, as it says in the book of Deuteronomy, is not far from us. It's as close as our own breath. Whenever we bring our attention to anything, we are present with it. And sometimes the question we may start to ask is, as I'm noticing my breath and the body and the sounds around me or this person in front of me, who is it that's noticing? Who is it? If I can pay attention to my thoughts, if I can pay attention to the physical surroundings around me, then that must not be who I am. I'm not my physical sensations. I'm not my thoughts, but whoever I am is something that can be aware of, be present with all that surrounds me. What is that presence that I bring to the moment? And then as I start to feel into that and be into that, it doesn't just become my presence, it just becomes the presence. And that's more, and that becomes this gateway into what some of us might call God, um, spirit, sacred place, whatever it is, it's right here in our own presence. So I want to invite you to find a position that's comfortable, that you can sit in without moving too much at all for the next period of time. It's great if you can sit in a way that your spine is straight. It doesn't have to be rigid, not rigid, but if there can be some kind of straightness in your posture, it allows us to be able to pay attention better usually when our spine is straight. And then begin by closing your eyes, and we'll start with a melody, a nigun, that kind of will tap us into that feeling a little bit more, and then we'll move into the meditation. Yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai Aira, 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 So just begin with an awareness of your body in space. Notice the pressure and contact of your bottom on the chair or the cushion. Notice where your feet meet the floor. Pay attention to the distance between the bottom of your spine and the top of your head. Notice the space between your ears. Pay attention to the way your arms hang out of your shoulder sockets and the resting place of your hands. Allow yourself to have a full awareness of your body in space, noticing the outline and shape as you sit in this moment. And at the same time that you're aware of your body in space, begin to pay attention to the movement of breath, noticing where the air enters the nostrils or the mouth, the way the body gently expands to make room for the inhale, the place where the inhale switches over to an exhale, and following the breath out as the body contracts with the exhale. Again, noticing where that exhale reaches its maximum length and switches back over to an inhale, following that cycle of breath, being aware of the body's expansion and contraction with the inhale and the exhale. Allow yourself to notice the way the belly expands to make room for the inhale, letting that belly be soft to receive the breath in. And as you breathe into your belly, breathe in a sense of safety, security, rootedness in your seat. And as you exhale, let any feeling of restlessness or anxiety just pour out of you. With the inhale, bringing in again that sense of being exactly where you need to be, being rooted in this space here and now. And with the exhale, letting out anything, any idea or sense that things should be other than they are. Just let that go. Breathing into the belly and out. If you would like to help focus this sense with each breath in, you can use the phrase, "It is perfect," or "It is whole," WHOLE, as a way of breathing in acceptance and rootedness. The phrase is just there to help with your focus. But if you feel like you have that intention in you as you breathe in and out of your belly, you don't need the phrase. Now, keeping that sense of rootedness and acceptance, bring your attention to your heart area and let your breath breathe in and out of that heart area. You almost imagine that your heart is like an open window and the breath comes in and out of that area, open, breezy. And you breathe in a sense of open-heartedness, of love, and breathe out a sense of embrace. If you'd like, you can use the phrase in breathing into the heart area, "You are loved." And you can even imagine it's almost that the universe is saying to you, "You are loved," with the inhale. And then with the exhale, you can say, "You are loved," to people in your life. You can say it to people in the world on a more global sense. But really the desire and the knowledge for each person to know that they're loved. Breathing in and out of that heart area, a sense of openness to this moment. And with that intention of giving and receiving love, there's an attitude of embrace, of embracing this moment, not just being present with this moment, but almost having a virtual arms open, ready for a hug and embrace of everything about this moment. The movement of breath, the sensations in the body, the thoughts that move in the mind, the sounds around, everything. With each inhale and exhale, we welcome it, we open to it, we embrace it. Even if there's experiences of discomfort, of pain or tension, there's also the willingness to say, this is part of the unfolding of creation and this moment, and I open and embrace it. Again, the phrase "you are loved" is just a springboard for the intention of open-heartedness. When you feel like you are, are opening to that, you can drop the phrase. And as you breathe in and out of your heart area, you can still be aware of the belly, of that sense of rootedness, of it is perfect, of acceptance, that both centers are in your both belly and your heart area. Both of those are alive, are lit up, are present, both qualities of awareness, openness, and acceptance. And then as you keep those qualities active, move your attention up to the space right on your forehead between, right above the center of your eyebrows, what's sometimes called the third eye. And allow your breath, imagine that you're breathing in and out of that spot on your forehead, the center of your forehead, right above your eyebrows. And I want you to breathe in and out, focus, clarity. So with every inhale in through that forehead, you imagine that you are breathing in the ability to focus, to concentrate, to be present. And it's not the tense kind, it's not the scrunch up your forehead and eyebrows, but really a very clear and clean and relaxed and laser focused kind of awareness on this moment. So as you breathe in through that forehead, you breathe in clarity and awareness, and you breathe out clarity and awareness. That clarity and awareness is about being present with everything in this moment. Breath, body sensations and shape, sounds, thoughts. You're present and aware of all of it at once. What we call the divine symphony, where every part of the moment to moment experience of this here and now is like an instrument in a great orchestra. Instead of focusing on one instrument or another, instead of the mind contracting around a thought or a sensation in the body, you allow an openness to pay attention to all of it at once. And as you breathe in and out of the forehead area, it's like you're breathing in the cleanest caffeine, the cleanest attention and focus, driven by your decision to embody this moment in a deeper way, by this decision to embody your life in a deeper way. It's the decision that drives the attention. So now you're aware of all three centers. There's the breathing in the forehead lit up with clarity and awareness of the divine symphony. There's the heart area lit up with embrace and openness of this moment, most even on a feeling and emotional level to really bring our hearts and our love to this moment. And then there's that groundedness in the belly that roots us here with an acceptance and a sense of safety and security. So just be present with all of those qualities in this moment. And then finally, we begin to open to the aliveness of this moment. That even with our attention on all the aspects of our experience, even with our hearts open, we begin to sense into that every part of our experience, from breath to body to sounds to even the images in our minds, that everything is filled with a live presence. Everything has infinite depth. If you want, you can imagine that every molecule of air and cells in your body and everything that makes up everything is saying, I am holy. That there's a voice that comes forth from every corner of reality, from within us, from without us, that says, I am holy. A voice that tunes us into the presence that is in everything. And we can notice that presence even in our own attention. That we can sense into who is paying attention. And instead of attempting to answer that question intellectually, it's a question that draws our attention to awareness itself, to that which animates our consciousness. And the deeper we go into that sense of presence that is in everything, we can allow the forms that the presence takes, the forms of breath and body and sound and all of those things, we can let that fade into the background. And instead, let ourselves embody and be the presence. I'm going to be quiet now for some moments. And I want to invite you to stay in this presence, that all the qualities are aware and alive to be in this presence. There's the belly and the sense of rootedness and acceptance. There's the heart and the open-heartedness. And then there's the clarity and attention of the form. That all are present. And then there's the willingness for the presence. If you find that your attention is lacking in any area that you contract around thoughts or other things, remember that this is a practice. You can begin by building the awareness in belly and heart and forehead, and let that be your foundation to open again to that sense of presence. So as you take your time opening your eyes, connecting in with the space around you, I want to invite you to try to continue to hold some of this awareness of presence, of clarity, of open-heartedness, these qualities that we're practicing, and to see how much we can extend them into our day as we begin to get caught in, and our attention comes to many, many different things.